Hi friends, it's Julie Golding-Page, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in St. Stephen, New Brunswick, Canada. And today I have a simple stamping project for you. So let's get right to our project. So first of all, this is a little bit of a sneak peek of one of the papers that you helped me decide to use today. So we're going to look at the options, what we had. So I always ask people to vote on the project, what you would like me to use in my project each week. And this one had a choice of two papers. So one was Delicate Dreams Designer Series paper. And I'll show you that one because it's really beautiful. This has sold out multiple times. It's back in stock last I checked. So I think it is still there, but it keeps selling out very, very quickly. So if you want this, please go get it right away. So you can see it has this beautiful kind of copper foil in it. And the blue here that's so vibrant is the new hydrangea hue, a new color that just came out in May. So there's another print. This one is all the foil, which is so beautiful. I hope you can see that on the camera as it shimmers there. And this one looks kind of like either twigs or feathers. And it, again, has all kinds of that foil detailing. This one is a really dark one, and then it's got all the foil detailing as well. And then, of course, on the back, as with most of the Stampin' Up! Papers, you have beautiful patterns that you can pair with what's on the other side. So those are some of the patterns you get in Delicate Dreams. Now, the other option that we had was this one, and it's called Lovely and Beautiful. And I'll show you what it has. It has some foil detailing as well. So you can see this one has gold foil in it. Isn't that pretty? And so you've got all these flowers. Here's another floral print. Beautiful. Very nice for summer, both papers. This one, you can see there's all kinds of that foil in there. And this one has white background with all gold. And I've used this to make a wedding card, and it was quite pretty. Oops, I've got a little fuzzy thing on there. And it was really nice. So it's a really great wedding paper or celebration paper. And then this one as well. Lots and lots of that foil detailing there. And then finally this pattern as well. And by almost unanimous consent, you chose this one. So it's Lovely and Beautiful that we're going to be using today. And I have chosen this panel that we're going to use on our card. Very, very pretty. But before we get to that, we need to cut out our piece that we're going to use on a label. So here we go. And I'm going to be using a number of items that are in the last chance sale right now. That means that they're going to retire as soon as they run out of stock, and they won't restock them. So if there's anything that you see that I mention is a last chance item, you should get there right away because you never know when they're going to sell out. This is one of the items that is on the last chance list. It is the Modern Oval Punch, and I have found this to be really, really useful. If you don't have a die cut machine or you just want a really easy way to make a label, this is a great way to go. So I'll show you how I did that again here. So this is what the punch looks like. You press upward on that button and you'll see what it does. So it opens, and lots of people tend to try to put the paper in this way, but it actually goes in over here. So not the side where the button is, but the side where the punch part is. So you can just put that in there, arrange it so you can see it, and then press together and punch. And that's it. So it's very easy. You can make a whole bunch of these in a short amount of time. So if you're making multiple cards, this kind of punch is the way to go. And again, it's called the Modern Oval Punch. And after I get done my Facebook Live here today, I am going to make a blog post about this, and I'll put the link right here on this post, on this video. And I'll have the whole supply list done up in photos and some additional information for you about my specials that I'm offering this month, like my tutorial bundle with your $100 order and so forth. If you're watching this on replay, great, it's already going to be here right in the post. I will make sure that it's here. Okay, so we're going to use Calypso Coral because that is one of the colors here. in our paper. So I'm just drawing the colors right out of the paper. So we're going to open that up, and we are going to use a stamp set that is on half price. So it is on big discount. It was $25. Now it's just $12.50. So it's called Sunshine Vibes, and you can see you can make like a sunset or sunrise here. You've got this one as well, which could also be a moon. You've got this nice little decoration here, and this one, all kinds of things you could use on a card, some greenery, and then you have these nice sentiments in nice bold font. So hello, thanks, sending good vibes, and darling. So again, it's just $12.50. So it's a really, really nice deal. So we're going to use this one that says sending good vibes. So I am just going to put that down so we can see it. And then I'm going to pick it up with my block. And it's really good to put it right in the middle of the block. If you put it toward the bottom or the top, I find I get uneven pressure. The closer to the middle you get it, the better it works, at least in my experience. Okay, so if you've never stamped before, when you get a new stamp set, now this one you can tell I've used it before because it's stained with red, but if you get it brand new, you'll want to condition it, and that's what I'm doing right now with my fingertips. So basically what that does is it takes any residue from the soap that they use in the factory to wash their stamps after they manufacture them. I was at their factory in Utah a few years ago, and they told me that the residue is just soap. So the oils from your fingers will get that off. And then rather than squishing hard into this foam pad here, that is the ink pad, we're just going to tap, tap, tap kind of lightly, but firmly. So I'll show you right now. Tap, tap, tap. And you can see that coated it really nicely without squishing it. I didn't get a whole bunch of ink over here. And that should give me a good stamping surface here. So let's see how we do with that. All right, I'll just hold that down for a count of about 8 or 10. That just gives the ink time to transfer from the stamp onto your paper. And then you might have to kind of peel it off slightly like that. And look at that. Just really nice. So this is a really good color to do for sentiments, for words. That is called, again, Calypso Coral. So a nice dark color for that. All right, I'm going to quickly clean up my stamp so I don't get it on me, get the ink on me. So this is a Simply Chamois you get from Stampin' Up, and you can see it's pliable. You just run it under water till the whole thing is pliable. Mine's getting a little dried out, so it's kind of hard here on the edges, but the whole thing will be pliable if you run it under water. And then you can clean all these stamps with water, which is great. So then you don't have to worry about any chemicals or anything like that. All right, so that is done. We have our stamping done. That is it for the stamping. So I did promise a simple stamping card, and I'm going to stick with that. So now we're going to take our lovely and beautiful paper, which is so gorgeous, and we are going to put it on our Calypso Coral panel here, made of Calypso Coral cardstock. And I used this set of dies to cut it out, which is called Perennial Postage Dies. It's one of my favorite sets because it's so useful year-round. And you can see it fits right here into that largest rectangle. If you're looking at these dies and you only have the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, all of them except this biggest one will work in your mini. And if you want them all to work, then you need the larger machine, the standard size. If you don't have dies like this, or you don't have a die cut machine, I can help you get one of those. I can certainly help you with customer service there. But if you want to make the card right away, just cut a rectangle. So my let's see how big this is. So I'm just going to measure it right now. So it is 5 by 3 3/4. So it's 3 3/4 this way and 5 that way if you're looking for dimensions. And then this panel is, let's see, it is 4.5 by 3 1/4. So 3 1/4 this way and 4.5 that way. And it just fits nicely, so that makes a frame for it. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will adhere that. So I'm going to use this Terran tape that you get also from Stampin' Up. I found my customers who come to my classes in person have really liked using tear and tape and have found it their easiest dry adhesive to use. You could also use a liquid glue, or multi-purpose liquid glue would do great. Or you could use Stampin' Seal. It really doesn't matter. You can just pick your favorite adhesive. But I like the dry adhesives myself for a lot of things. And tear and tape comes with a ton of it on a roll, so I really like that one. Okay, so there, that is put together now. The next thing that we're going to do is go ahead and put on our vellum. So we have a piece of vellum here, and we have to figure out kind of where we want to put our label there, just to make sure we get it in the right place. So let me see, how do I want to do this? Okay, maybe I'll just put it kind of over toward one side here, and then I can put the label there. The reason I'm trying to position this carefully is I want to put some tear and tape under here on the vellum so that you can't see the vellum up here, or rather you can't see the adhesive up here through the vellum. So I'm just going to take that and sort of flip it over and put a little bit of adhesive right there. So let's take our tear and tape out. If I can find the end here, that's always the big challenge, isn't it, to try to find the end of these things. Okay, I'm going to take off the backing there, and then position this sort of in the middle here from top to bottom. Let's see. Okay, so then I'm just going to make sure that I put my label right over that spot so that it's in the right place. Okay, so we've got that on so far. There we go. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some ribbon. So this ribbon is a nice brilliant yellow called Darling Duckling. And this ribbon is also 50% off right now until it disappears and is sold out. So it was $11 a spool. You get 30 feet of it. And now it's only $5.50. So it's a really, really super deal. So what I'm going to do is put this across. And I'm just going to cut enough to use. Oh, I think I forgot my scissors on the other desk. Let me grab them. Okay. All right, here we go. Here's my scissors. And I'm going to use mini glue dots to adhere that to the back. So here we go. So if you haven't had a chance to look at those last chance items, they were all updated on the 2nd of June. And so that means there's all kinds of new items that didn't used to be there. And so there's all kinds of goodies, and I think you'll find lots of good stuff in there. Lots of deals on paper, embellishments, stamp sets, everything. So all kinds of great stuff, and some at really, really big discount, like this one. $5.50 for this beautiful ribbon. It's fantastic. So I've got that on there now. So now I'm going to take my card base, which is simply half an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And this is Petal Pink, the color. And I'm going to use some dimensionals to put this on my card base. So I have some leftover dimensionals that I had in a kit. You can buy them separately as well. You get 300 of them for $7, so it's a really good deal. And I love these little things. I just use them all the time because they give you a little bit of popping up for attention in your card. And that extra bit of dimension just makes such a big difference. And they stick really well too. They're not things that I've found dry out at all. And they really are there for the long haul. So if you're doing like a scrapbooking project or that sort of thing, they're also a good choice for that because they have some longevity behind them. All right, here we go. Let's take that. And I think I need to use my bone folder on there just to give that a nice crisp fold. And now I'll put this on. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try to get right over top of that so that it is straight and in the middle. Okay, so here's what I've got so far. Not anything too difficult, right, so far? So now we're going to take this Sending Good Vibes and we're going to stick it here. And I'm going to put my adhesive, which is going to be that dimensional adhesive to pop it up. I'm going to put some along here and some along here. And the reason for that is I don't want to stick it to the ribbon or the ribbon will move up and down. And I don't know about you, but that annoys me on a card. I want it to stay where I put it. So we're going to put it there and have it stick. All right, let me see if I can find some dimensionals we can use here. All right, so I have these little mini dimensionals I'm using, and they work great for this because they allow you to go to both edges, and then they just will stay on the edges where you want them to be. All right. Oh, and I should say too, if you don't have a demonstrator and you're looking for one to help with your crafting needs, I do provide online classes, which I'll be posting later today. And I also provide customer service anywhere in Canada. I can help you out and it would be my pleasure. So if you need anything, please just send me a message and I'd be delighted to help you out. If you're interested in joining my team, I do have a cross-Canada team as well. We have a fairly small team. I think I've got about 12 right now. So we can meet together and have time to chat as well as do our projects and so on. All right, so I think that's pretty good so far. Now I'm going to take my ribbon and now I'm going to feed it through here. And okay, and for my upcoming classes, I have a couple of simple stamping classes because I'm booking now for August online classes. And I did that because it's kind of nice to have it a little easier in the summer. And I also find that the longer I do card making, the more I like the simple, elegant cards. So I really gravitate toward those now. I used to make super complicated ones, but now I think I kind of prefer the simple ones. Although I do have a class coming up where we're going to do some blending brush work as well. So I like to have a bit of a variety too. So there we go. And you notice I tied it right on the spool and then I cut it, right? That's so that there is very, very little waste. And I think the only amount of waste that I cut was just off one of these ends to make it angled like that. So it was very little waste. So I always advise just using your ribbon right on the spool rather than cutting it in advance. Unless, of course, you're doing a class, in which case I always cut that for folks as well. So we've got that so far. We have one more step, and it's another sale item. It's these loose frosted dots that we're going to use. Now, these are another item that are 50% off, and they were $11. Now they're $5.50, and you get a whole bunch of them. And that's why I wanted to use these. They are the right color for my paper, and also you get 360 of them, which is huge. And they're in 3 different sizes. Now, the only thing to know with these is that they are not self-stick. So you do have to use your own adhesive for them, either a little dot of glue, of the multi-purpose liquid glue. This is the kind that I have that Stampin' Up! Sells, or you could use a glue dot if they're big enough to match the glue dots. So I think I'll probably use the actual multi-purpose liquid glue. And what I'm going to do is use the large yellow ones and maybe some of the medium-sized yellow ones as well. So you can see there's the 3 sizes of yellow. That's very convenient. So tiny, medium, and big. So I am going to take my multi-purpose liquid glue and I am going to get it going here because mine is an older one here. And I'm going to see if I can put like a little glue dot. There's one there. And there's one there. And then try to put these little gems right on there. And how I'm going to do that is using my Stampin' Up! Tool. This is the Take Your Pick. And I'm going to use the putty end to pick them up. So here's a medium one. Isn't that slick? It just picks it right up for you. So I'm going to put that one down. and then kind of press it on there. And I'll leave that to dry a while after I do this project, just so it won't come off randomly. So there's that one. And let's see, where else would I like one of these? Maybe, let's see, let's take another big one here. And, whoops, I didn't put on the glue, did I? Okay, well that would help. Let's put the glue over here. So we'll just put a bit of a glue dot there. So you can see I just put a little bit of glue, not very much. And I will put that on there. Just keep it in that spot right there. And maybe we'll put a couple more. Oops, there's a pink one I got by mistake there. Okay, let's see if I can get another one of these yellow ones in a medium. Aha, there's one. It's kind of like diamond painting, those little things that you use in that. And let's see, I'm going to put a dot right there. And I think I'll put one right down there. Okay. So I'll move these so you can see a little better there. So I'm going to put one up here on the vellum, and I do think it'll take a little time to dry on the vellum, so I'm going to have to leave that for a bit. And maybe one large one on the bottom here. I think that would look nice. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, if you're okay with having to adhere these yourselves, they're really a good deal. 360 of them for $5.50. You're not going to beat that, I don't think. So those are, again, loose frosted dots, and I will, after I finish with this video, I will put my full supply list on my blog post and put the post on here for you. So here is the final product. So super simple, using all kinds of sale items, and there's tons and tons more that are on big discount. Things that were on the sale list in the last chance items have bigger discounts, many of them now, than they did at the beginning, or than they did before the beginning of June, so you'll want to look at those too. And if I can help with any of your crafting needs, please let me know. I'd be very happy to hear from you. I love to meet new people, and I've just met so many friends through being a demonstrator, and I really appreciate that. So thanks for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it will inspire you to do some crafting of your own. Bye for now.